I'm thinking about kind of the pain points we're facing in the industry, and specifically for solar, for community solar. Is there any, would you say, do you have like a top, maybe, what are your top 3 pain points you see right now in the industry that maybe are going to kind of prevent a little bit of growth, or things that we need to overcome to hit our targets for development in the segment?
Yeah, that's a really great way of phrasing it. I think that from my perspective, so and I'm kind of more on the subscriber side in terms of subscriber acquisition, management, that whole life cycle, though I work very closely with the rest of our team across everything. So I see a lot of what is happening in the future markets, or what we're looking forward to. So I would say, some of the pain points, and we just chatted a little bit about the solar coaster. It's not new, right? This is kind of how it's been going for the last however many years. It is. It's a long, bumpy ride. It's a sunny ride, but it's a long, bumpy ride. So, I think because community solar is so driven by legislation, and it's political, right? And of course, we have turnover in politics every several years. So sometimes there are tailwinds, sometimes there are headwinds. And I think right now, one of the things that we're facing is that there's more demand than there is supply. And so unfortunately, we just aren't able to build things fast enough or serve as many people, including large corporate organizations, as we want to. And I think that's going to continue to be a challenge. One of the things we can start to look at there is, what does that mean? Do we look outside of programmatic requirements? Do we look at other on-site, installations? Do we look at virtual PPAs, virtual power plants? Do we look at, rec sales? How do we think about serving our consumers, residents and income qualified folks and commercial subscribers or customers alike? What do we give to them, and how do we package that in a way that is palatable and serves their needs? So, if they're interested in savings and we can only give them community solar, that's great. That probably aligns. But what if they want something more and they want renewable energy credits? Well, if we have a finite number of those, we can only serve so many people. So I think that's probably the biggest hurdle that I see us facing. Yeah. I think there are some other small ones that, are all relatively related, and they're facing us right now is a lot of interconnection delays. Yeah. So we're seeing that as we're building, where we thought that our, typical pipeline to build a project might be 12 months. That crept up to 12 to 16 to 18, in some cases it's almost 2 years. And here we are, we thought we were going to have a project online and collecting revenue and bringing that money back in so we can reinvest it into another portfolio or another project. And we're seeing delays largely from the utilities or from some other supply chain issue that we somewhat anticipated, but maybe not to that extent. So I think that's a big area where we'll continue to see some pauses or hiccups in the development life cycle.